Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. My name is Dan and I'm going to be spending the next few minutes telling you how Liverpool beat Everton 2-0 in the Merseyside Derby at Anfield. Yes, another win for the red half of Merseyside. And it wasn't as straightforward as they've been in the past. Often Liverpool come into these games heavy favourites and we sort of flex our muscles and we prove exactly why we are that. I think over the course of time, we did do that in parts of the game, but it perhaps could have been more straightforward, particularly when you factor in the fact that Everton were down to 10 men quite early on in the game. Ashley Young sent off for a second bookable offence. Absolutely nailed on, no two ways about it. He complained, obviously, on the way off, but it was always, I build it before the game, with Luis Diaz up against a 38, 37-year-old Ashley Young now. It was always going to be difficult for him at right back, and we got the ball out to Diaz quickly, got him running at him, booked early on, and then not long after that, he kicked the ball away actually before he actually got the second yellow to sort of waste time after giving away a throw-in. So he could have easily gone for that. He counted himself maybe a little bit lucky. Perhaps the ref saw that and thought, next time you do anything, you're gone, mate. And it didn't take too long. Diaz again, running at him, twisting him inside out. Gets him to the byline, and Ashley Young at that point has got a decision to make. Does he let him go, and does he let him inside the penalty area and perhaps a dangerous situation, or does he go to ground and try and stop him? He chooses the latter. He goes to ground, tries to stop him, gets nowhere near the ball, nailed on foul, nailed on yellow. Like I say, he shouldn't really complain about it, but of course he did. Liverpool dominated really the first half, in and around the red card. Loads of good counter-attacks. Probably should have made one count earlier than we did. Everton had a chance very early on through Calvert-Lewin, but didn't really see the whites of our goalposts after that. Alisson had very little to do. Liverpool were in the ascendancy, but couldn't really carve anything out in the way of like clear-cut chances. We had a couple of decent efforts from range. Trent with one of them. I thought Gravenberch and Szoboszlai were brilliant in midfield. They really were making loads of stuff happen. Diaz likewise. Well, Jota was lively. Salah had a quiet afternoon, I'd say. He had certainly a quiet first hour. Couldn't really get into the rhythm of it. Mykolenko actually did a decent job up against Mohamed Salah, I thought. But yeah, as the game wore on, Liverpool went in the second half, made no changes. We were just exerting our dominance on proceedings over and over again, and Everton were finding it hard to live with us with 11 men, let alone with the man disadvantage, and they sat so deep. They really did. They made it almost impossible for us to sort of getting behind and get any sort of space. There was no real like clear-cut opportunities for us to make anything happen in behind them, and you've got to give them credit in terms of their defensive discipline. But so many of our chances in the first half came through counter-attacking moments, and they just weren't existing in the second because Everton weren't attacking, basically. So it was difficult. Eventually came a couple of half sort of opportunities for a penalty before it eventually comes from a penalty. Michael Keane essentially playing basketball inside his own area, nailed on. Like, as soon as I seen it, I was up. There was no way about it. It had to be a pen, just had to be. Referee got sent over to the monitor, given eventually, right decision, and Salah makes no mistake from the spot. It's quite funny, the TV cameras were showing Jordan Pickford's water bottle with all his graphics on of where Liverpool penalty takers take the pens, and he decided to stay down the middle, and Salah absolutely belted it in the bottom-ish right corner. Yeah, no chance, smashed it, get in. Liverpool deservedly 1-0 up. And again, Everton, they didn't really go for it up until sort of the last 10, and Liverpool were always going to be a threat on the counter when Everton did decide to attack. There's one contentious moment that the Blues fans will be moaning about, and Sean Dyche likewise, I imagine. Konate was booked in the second half for bringing down, I think it was Beto on sort of a counter-attack. He does the same, but about 10 minutes later. Now, they will kick off about it because they'll say, what's the difference between that and the young one? And I think there is an argument to say they were both yellow cards, Konate's, but there is a difference because both of his were inside Liverpool's sort of dominance. We were in control of the situation, whereas Ashley Young was literally stopping Diaz getting into the area. Konate was in the Everton half both times. So there is a slight difference in it, but I won't begrudge them complaining because I get it, I really do. And yeah, Liverpool sealed the game 2-0. Darwin Núñez was brilliantly carrying the ball out as McAllister, I think, finds him from an Everton corner. Again, they've committed too many men forward. We've got too much pace for them to handle. And as Núñez carries the ball, must be the best part of 50, 60 yards, and releases Mohamed Salah at exactly the right time. And I said earlier on, Salah had a quiet game, but this is just Mohamed Salah doing Mohamed Salah things now. Like, it's his world. We're just living in it. I've been saying it for a while. And he was poor for the most part today, he really was. Ends the game with 2 goals, and he is the match winner in the Merseyside Derby again. So hats off to him. Good finish. Jordan Pickford nowhere near again. Like, terrible positioning from him. Salah makes no mistake. Up the Reds, 3 points, top of the league at time of recording. Let's hope it stays that way over the weekend. Decent performance back after international break. Not perfect, but I think Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Virgil van Dijk was brilliant at the back as well. A few real standout performances. Let's hope we got like Gakpo back soon. Jones will come back from that suspension. I think he's got 1 more game left as well. Even likes of Ben Doak and people like that, just to strengthen that bench up again, because there's 3 young kids on the bench today and it wasn't packed, let's put it that way. And I do want to mention, speaking of the bench, Harvey Elliott. For he was exceptional when he came on as well. But yeah, Mohamed Salah's world, we're just living in it. Up the Reds. Until next time, take it easy.